What's one of the hardest things about caring for an aging parent? It's not the logistics. It's not even the finances. It's the conversations. You know the one I mean. Mom, if something happens, do you want to stay at home? Dad, do you have a will? Who's going to handle things if you can't? They're uncomfortable. They feel nosy and even disrespectful. So we delay them until a crisis forces our hands. But here's the truth. Avoiding this conversation doesn't protect anyone. It just guarantees more stress, more confusion, and at the exact moment you'll have the least bandwidth to deal with. I've seen this play out more times than I can count. And in this episode, I'll walk you through how to approach the money and care talk with your parents, even if you've never talked about this kind of thing before. Again, if you stick around just a minute, I'll show you the checklist I use with my own clients to help them prep for the conversation and protect their finances before the storm hits. Oh, hey folks, by the way, this is episode 2 of a 4-part series on caregiving and your finances. If you missed episode 1, where we unpack the hidden financial costs of caregiving, I highly recommend you go back and catch that one. I'll link it here in the corner. Also, if this topic hits close to home, go ahead, subscribe. That way you won't miss the next 2 episodes, especially the one where I get into how to protect your retirement while caring for someone else. Most people aren't trying to be irresponsible. They're just trying to keep the peace. We certainly don't want to upset our parents, sound greedy, start a family argument, or simply face the reality that our parents are getting older. But those are emotional reasons, not strategic ones. And if you're going to play the role of caregiver, the sooner you understand the landscape, financial, legal, and medical, the better. You see, here's the reality. Later often means after someone's fallen, been hospitalized, or started showing signs of memory loss. By then, legal capacity might be compromised. Emotions are running high, and your financial choices are limited. And you're in reactive mode, not proactive planning. This is when families tend to scramble. And when mistakes and big financial costs tend to happen. You don't need to storm in with a spreadsheet, a legal pad. Start with this. Hey, I know this might feel a little uncomfortable, but I want to make sure I'm doing right by you. Can we take 30 minutes to talk about what you'd want if something were to happen? Other prompts I've seen work really well are, is there anything important you'd want us to know or find? Do you already have someone lined up as your financial or medical power of attorney? What's most important if your health changes? If you're worried about pushback, start small. You're planting a seed, not staging an intervention. Here's what actually matters. Do they have a will or trust? Is there a durable power of attorney and healthcare directive? Where are the documents? And who else knows? What are their major accounts, assets, or insurance policies? Are there recurring medical costs or support needs? You don't need account numbers or dollar amounts today. You just need awareness of what exists and where to find it. You may think this conversation is about them, but in reality, it's about protecting your own time, your money, and your emotional bandwidth. When you know what your parents want and what they've set up, you're not stuck guessing or fighting with siblings. You're able to act with clarity, advocate with confidence, avoid preventable expenses, and step into the caregiving role with a plan. That's not just smart, that's loving. Look, this isn't easy. I've had to have the same conversation with my own parents, but avoiding the talk doesn't make it any easier. It just pushes the cost into the future and usually onto your shoulders. Start small. Use the conversation starters we've talked about. And if you want help figuring out what to cover, download the Caregiver Financial Checklist. It's free, and it lays out basics so nothing critical gets missed. You'll find a link to it in the description. If this helped you out, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next one. Got questions? Drop them in the comments. I read and reply to everyone. And If you want to dig deeper into this topic, check out the next video. I linked it here. I think you'll find it super helpful.